Recording in progress.
Welcome to the ashram where your soul feels free. A space for transformation, love, and unity. Safe, seen, and heard, you're right where you belong. A sisterhood of power, fierce and strong. Welcome to the DGUA. Feel the magic flow. Here we rise, we thrive, we let our spirits grow. Greeted with a divine day, lifted up above. We leave you with light and love. So welcome, welcome, you're finally home. At Divine Gypsy Urban Ashram, you're never alone. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to the ashram where your soul feels free. A space for transformation, love, and unity. Safe, seen, and heard, you're right where you belong. A sisterhood of power, fierce and strong. Welcome to the ashram where your soul feels free. A space for transformation, love, and unity. Safe, seen, and heard, you're right where you belong. A sisterhood of power, fierce and strong. Welcome to the DGUA. Feel the magic flow. Here we rise, we thrive, we let our spirits grow. Greeted with a divine day, lifted up above. We leave you with light and love. So welcome, welcome, you're finally home. At Divine Gypsy Urban Ashram, you're never alone. Welcome, 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 welcome. So welcome, welcome, you're finally home. At Divine Gypsy Urban Ashram, you're never alone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're never alone. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to the ashram where your soul feels free. At Divine Gypsy Urban Ashram, you're never alone.
Hey y'all.
Hey,
Were y'all able to hear that? Because I was jamming out.
you sure were jamming. We were able to hear it.
Awesome. Yay. Welcome, everybody. I know it's going to be some people coming in a little later, but you know that's just how it goes. I'm so excited for this circle today. I don't know if you all been feeling the energy. It's just been so much just going on from the Lunar New Year to the eclipse to the 2-2 portal to the Mercury retrograde to just the temperature of everything going on as a collective. It has just been a shift, and so many people have just been wanting to know what in the world are we doing with this energy. Like anybody else, just before we even get into it, anybody else just feeling this energetic shift, like it feels like something, when you like about to get on a roller coaster or something, it's like you could feel like the anticipation of things and the temperature, just something feel different. Anybody else feeling this shift just across the board?
Absolutely. I've definitely felt it. Couldn't put my finger on it, but definitely have felt it all around.
Yes. So this session here, it was such a dynamic one going into the new year where we just really looked at the wellness wheel and looked at ways that we can create flow and not force in some areas that we're ready to just transform in. And so we can use this momentum of the energy that's sort of circulating to help us, get in a flow state, stay in a flow state. And so before we just, get set, I'll give everybody a chance to just sort of arrive. If you're driving, I mean, please don't close your eyes, but just take a moment to just breathe and bring all of the versions of yourself here, because this is your time. This is for you to be able to show up for yourself, and just take a deep breath. Call all of your energy back to this moment here. Just call your full self to be present as much as possible. Bring back your thoughts, bring back all parts of you that just sort of been fragmented and scattered. And we are not here to figure out life. We are here to align with what is already unfolding. Yes, yes, yes. Just take a moment. Life has pulled us in so many directions all week, and this is our chance to be here for us, for ourselves, and to gather as a collective. And so, y'all know in coaching, I'm going to start off with a question, and you can write it down. It's an intuitive answer. But in this space, do you feel like you are ready that you need rest, that you need to recalibrate, or you need to rise? And before we go into it, just answer it intuitively. Like, can't get it wrong, right? With just being asked that question, do you feel you're in the moment today that you need rest, you need to recalibrate, or you need to rise? So either make a mental note, jot it down, and by the end of this session, we're going to see if that is exactly what you need when we go into a little bit more of it. So really wanted also this session to really just check in with some people from the circle before we go into that, and just see how everybody's feeling, just what's going on with you as of today. Just give us a quick, if you want to, a snapshot of just how are you feeling coming into this space right now, if anybody wants to share. Still letting people in. I know how that goes. So if I repeat myself, I'm sorry. All right. Well, I'm gonna jump right in. So just to give you, we talked a little bit about the energy shift that's going on. One, the Lunar New Year is about new identity and cycles. So are you sort of feeling that space? The other is the eclipse, and the eclipse is sudden clarity and shadow illumination, if that resonates. The 2-2 portal was about alignment and partnerships. And then the Mercury retrograde is about reevaluation and revision. Maybe you feel like you're there, or you could use that energy. And then the collective shifts is just nervous system sensitivity. So when I talked about all those energies we've been feeling and everybody been feeling it, that's a snapshot of sort of what each of those moments represent energetically. So I'll say that again really quick. Lunar New Year is about new identity cycles. So is anybody just in a space right now of re-identifying themselves, stepping into a new identity? It could be anything from just, your soft girl era to just reclamation of your divine feminine, of just your career, anything where you feel like this new identity is sort of emerging. Absolutely utilizing that energy for that. It could have came up during these times. So for the eclipse, it's sudden clarity or shadow illumination. So just like an eclipse, there's just sudden clarity about something. Like you are just so clear. Like you might have been like, I'm not sure if I should do this. I'm not sure if I should do that. And then just lately, you've just been so clear. Just, it's like the fog has lifted and you are just so clear on an answer or direction, and you're very clear. You may have felt that with that energy. And then the 2-2 portal, 2-2 portal is alignment and partnerships. So has there been an opportunity coming up where you are working with someone and it's a relationship and it's aligned and things are sort of finally figuring themselves out, and you've called for partnerships, either somebody to help you in your business, someone to kind of help you in general or support, and it's really been kind of coming through and it feels aligned now. It feels like boundaries are being honored, like all of that. You might be experiencing that with that energy. And then the Mercury retrograde is reevaluation and revision. So maybe you're experiencing something where you do need to reevaluate a choice, a decision. You need to revise a plan. You sort of was like, I started this way, but something feel off, and I just really need to like realign, and redirect in a way. That might be coming up with the retrograde. And then the collective shift is really the nervous system sensory. So with the temperature of everything going on, you may be experiencing a little more anxiety. You may be feeling more a heightened sense of like something's coming. You feel anxious, just like I got to do something. I need to move somewhere, but I don't know what that is. I'm kind of doing everything I'm supposed to, but something is like just, you know, your nervous system is really sensitive right now. That's definitely what I've been experiencing. Very hyper awareness and sensitivity in my nervous system. So, anybody, did any of those like resonate with anybody? And if so, would you be open to share? Like something popped in your heart or popped in your mind when I went through that? And if so, would you like to just share it with us and tell us a little bit about your experience?
Hi, Steph.
Hi.
So this is Ebony speaking.
Yes.
Yes. So you spoke of clarity. I can't
Mm-hmm.
remember what that was for, but basically like the smoke clearing. And I do
Mm-hmm.
feel that I felt pretty much all that you said, and a lot of it kind of surrounding, like you said, reshaping identity. And so,
Mm.
as you know, I do womb work. And I've been just trying to figure out, because that's still such an expansive topic. And so I decided, like, I got really crystal clear on the fact that I wanted to offer like support for women who are experiencing womb pain and sexual
Mm.
intimacy. And so, and for
Oh.
me, that was just like, that felt really good to define, like, really who I want to support, because it still felt very
Mm-hmm.
good. And I feel crystal clear on that. And before I made that decision, I was working with someone in a partnership to help me with my business. And so, just like you spoke of aligned partnerships, for me, it was deciding that it wasn't aligned and setting that
Mm-hmm.
boundary in that partnership so that I could soar.
Yeah, I love that. And yeah, please, Ebony, drop your contact information in the chat because Ebony does absolutely incredible work with womb work. She's like my womb warrior sister when I was doing a lot of womb work, first with cycles and period parties, which I still do, um, and helping women to have a better relationship with their cycle. Like we are womb wellness warriors for sure, and she does a
Yes.
phenomenal job. Like even the belly dance, like she just does phenomenal work. And in this era where we talked in some other circles about perimenopausal and stepping into our wisdom bodies, and this era being called menopause pause for a reason. We need to reevaluate, recalibrate, and reclaim ourselves as women and our bodies. And this era that we're in is so critical because what we do in these perimenopausal, menopausal time is us building our wisdom bodies that will carry us into the last bit of before we transition. So this is such a critical time for us to, as women, support each other, take care of ourselves, nourish our womb, and so she does absolutely phenomenal work. And I'll talk about you later, Ebony, but we got to do some stuff together. I got several people to send your way. And I know you talked about working with those with who've had sexual abuse. That's where we're kindred spirits too. When I was working with human trafficking survivors and domestic violence and sexual assault survivors, cult survivors, and reclaiming their bodies. It's such great work, and thank you for the work that you do. But absolutely, the all of those shifts, yes, I'm feeling them all too. Anybody else feeling any of those shifts we talk about? Anything that just came up and resonated with you?
I am feeling, hello everyone. I am feeling um the lunar with this new identity as we're speaking, as you
Hmm.
are speaking, about Ebony and her gifts. I am going through this transition of menopause, perimenopause, and it just has me all over the place. I am constantly feeling unbalanced just on every level. Just from brain fog to decision making to
Hmm.
just hormones are just everywhere. And,
Hmm.
just second guessing myself and questioning my identity. Um, while I'm in this transition, while I'm
Hmm.
actively transitioning into this new phase of my life. So that's what I'm going through right now.
Thank you so much, La. And La does incredible work too. She is one of my Pillars of Light sisters. We studied under Maria Costello together. Beautiful energy, amazing, just an incredible person. Thank you, La, for sharing. Anybody else want to share that they've been experiencing these energies?
I'll share stuff.
Yay!
Hello,
Hi,
good
Reese.
good afternoon, everyone. I think it's the consensus that we're all in the premental, the ones that spoke anyway. So just I think I'm in so many phases. Every day since going through the Ramadan, it's just been an amazing eye-opening situation. Even just speaking like focus, clarity, learning to relax. I think that's my biggest thing, to surrender control and just really embrace each moment and come, kind of relax and not trying to control the situation. Or I think my biggest thing is making time for me in that relaxation too, just making time. So getting back to remembering what I enjoy, like tapping into my creativity, trying to draw, trying to um when I meditate, I used to go into a place of fantasy. So I want to get back to that journey and into, fantasy and creating that space where I could just really enjoy sound and water and the environment and just really,
Hmm.
like I said, relax and just reclaim my identity, reclaim my peace, and reclaim my life
Hmm.
where I could put me. It's okay to put me first. It's okay to treat myself. It's okay, I don't have to say the word. I say that all the time because that's something I have to say over to myself all the time. Like, you don't have to fix your client, situations. You don't have to be the first one to arrive on the scene. You could, just allow things to be. You don't have to control. God is in control. So ultimately, you get to relax too. You get to save yourself. You get to be at peace. You deserve that. And so just trying to
Hmm.
reframe my brain and just reclaim rest in it and just know identity, know who I am at 49 with this beautiful body, beautiful mind, and beautiful heart.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that, Reese. And Reese, you drop your information too in the chat. Reese is a doula. Look, we got womb warriors on here. She is a phenomenal doula doing incredible work.
Thank you.
I mean, just very passionate about that work. And I mean, she's just phenomenal. She's phenomenal. And that is so true. All of that for y'all that are just joining us. I asked a question on the top end. In this, where you feeling right now, do you feel like you need rest, recalibration, or rest, recalibrate, or rise? And just intuitively answer it. Whatever, we'll go into it more, and I want to see if your answer is the same by the end of this that it is in the beginning. So right now, do you feel in this space you're in season you need rest, you need to recalibrate, or you need to rise? And we'll go through it. So mentally jot, and we'll see if it's at the end. We talked about too, for those entering this energy that we've been feeling, it's just been kind of everybody's been feeling it, and it was talking about the Lunar New Year, the eclipse, the 222 portal, the Mercury retrograde, and the collective shifts, just the sensitivity in our nervous system. So we kind of just talked about that in the beginning, and some great stuff was shared. So I'm going to go through now to see, we're going to see if, right, whatever your answer is what you need, and we're gonna work it out in this circle. You're gonna get some answers, you're gonna get some clarity, you're gonna get some in this moment. We claiming it, set intention, it's gonna happen. So if any of these resonate with you, then this is yours. So rest, if you said rest, that means you're feeling fatigue, irritability, brain fog, overwhelm, desire to withdraw. These could be some signs that rest is really what you need. I'll say those again. You feel fatigue, irritability, brain fog, overwhelm, a desire to withdraw. So if that one was for you, maybe that's rest. Let's see for recalibrate. So for recalibrate, you are questioning direction somewhere in your life. You feel like tweaking systems. Systems need to be tweaked. Rethinking relationships or editing identity. So different people talked about these different spaces too earlier. So again, recalibrate is questioning direction, tweaking systems, rethinking relationships, editing identity. And so for the last one, which is rise, you maybe experience clarity, courage, momentum, a visibility urge, creative expansion, right? Rise. Now, I'm not saying we can't be all experiences that, like, it's like, this area I need to rest, this area I need to recalibrate, this area I need to rise. It's not just, you can be feeling all these, but one that really resonates, if you had to say, just in the week, that I know generally, this one particular one, if I focused on this one, a lot of the other ones may, fix themselves. But in the rest, recalibrate and rise. What do you feel you're called in this space right now that you're in? What is calling? What is resonating? Rest, to recalibrate, or to rise? Anybody want to share? And if so, which of those three? If you had to pick one.
For me, it's definitely rest.
Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about that a lot too, because of what you were saying, like you were hitting those words. I was like, I didn't say the definition yet. I feel like there's this rest for
Absolutely,
sure.
absolutely.
Yeah. Anybody else? Which one is calling you? Mine's is definitely rise. It was rise when I first started this, because y'all know I do stuff twice, and it still seems to be rise when I said that stuff. Ebony?
Mine is also rise.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is also rise. Hi, Tay.
Hi, thank you. Welcome, welcome.
This is
Hey,
Reese.
Steffi. This is Tamasha. Mine is rise.
Okay.
Is it possible we? I'm sorry. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead, Tamisha.
Is it possible we caught in between two places? Because I think
You
I'm
got to
right in
pick
the
one.
middle. Oh,
You
God.
got to, that's why I said we're probably experiencing all of these in some space, but which one, if you had to say one is calling you, is calling you. But you can say which two, and maybe in talking it out, you might find where you're leaning. So which two are you caught in between?
I would say rest and recalibrate, but it's strange because I know what I need to do is rest. That resonates a lot, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
not comfortable with resting. I
Mm.
need to figure some things out. So while I'm resting, in one aspect, I still need to do some work because of my perspective needs to, okay, it's rest. Darn.
Yep. I want to say, when you're talking out, you're
I
probably going to
love how
convince
you
yourself.
did that. That was awesome.
I knew
Tanisha.
it.
Tanisha was like, oh, yep, okay. I hear you loud and
I
clear.
am
Let me
I
this
stop
one.
fighting.
dang, that
I
surrendering is a
accept your.
bad mode. Ooh, it's a bad
I
one.
knew
I'm
you was
telling
going to
you.
say it out.
Hey,
And, and,
okay.
and this No, I love that you did that, and I love that rest called you on that moment and said, "Me, it's me." Because the reason why rest is such a fundamental and foundational anchor to so much that we do is that you can't ask a drowning man what he having for dinner. You know, he can't think past needing something right now. You can't ask a drowning man what he want for dinner, and he don't have it to give to you. So when we are unrested, so much of our bodies and our minds and our emotions are just unaligned, and it needs to rest. And so and when you got to think, when you're resting, all of your systems need that moment so that they can talk and communicate with each other, right? You have all these intelligence systems. You have your head intelligence, your heart intelligence, and your gut intelligence. And when we rest, it's allowing them, right, to have the meeting and say, okay, what's going on? What do we need? How are we? You know, they need to meet. It's almost like if you a CEO and you always got your workers at a meeting, what time do we actually get to go and do the work you asking us to do? You keep us in meetings all day. We in meeting 40, 38 hours out of the 40 hours. We gonna do it. And you want us to do it in 2 hours, and then you be like, all right, go. And you only getting 2 hours to do all this work. So think of rest as being a radical necessity, right? That I have to rest. It's not even, it's not a luxury. It's not a reward. It's a requirement. And a lot of stuff comes from rest, not just sleeping, but true rest, turning your brain off, stop thinking about the next move, you know, all of these things, resting the mind, resting the thought, resting the systems so they can recalibrate, literally go into that next step. So thank you for sharing. I absolutely love that.
Hey, mine. This is.
So go
Oh,
ahead, please.
mine was rise in the beginning, and then
Okay.
when you start talking about clarity, courage, momentum, creative expansion, I was like, definitely, because I'm in my creative bag, and just, yeah, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
expanded. I feel the rise and clarity. That's what I've been seeking. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Is anybody in recalibration, questioning direction, tweaking systems, rethinking relationships, editing identity?
This is Deloise. Um,
Yeah.
I believe that I am in the recalibration phase.
Okay.
So much has gone on in my life in the past, I don't know, year. But the last 6 months has been extremely, um, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but it's definitely recalibration because recently, and I'd say within the last 6 months, I had to make a prayer of removal. And that
Mm-hmm.
prayer of removal was greater in depth than I thought it would be. And as a result
Mm-hmm.
of that, um, I ended up in a position to where um, it left me feeling kind of lonely,
Mm-hmm.
but in that loneliness, it shifted everything for me to where I had to recalibrate everything around me. So not just my overall, life, but the things in my home, the way I run my business, what's important. I have to rebrand myself. But I also
Mm-hmm.
recognized that I had been shrinking for such a long time to make other
Mm-hmm.
people comfortable. And I no longer do that anymore. I'm just going to be
Mm-hmm.
me and be content with who me is. I'm venturing out and going back to the things that I love, the things I had given up, um, so that others were comfortable, but just rediscovering me and doing things that make me happy and asking questions of myself, which
Mm-hmm.
includes, was I always this conservative person, or was I, you know, shrinking around insecure people to make them comfortable with me? And I'm loving the recalibration stage
Mm-hmm.
now. Um, there are some aspects where it's like it is lonely,
Mm-hmm.
but um, maybe that loneliness is so that I can truly dig deep into myself and find and get back to me. And I have
Oh my,
to accept that.
oh my God. I absolutely love that. I adore that. That you summed up beautifully the beauty of recalibrating and the importance of it. And even you captured how it feels when you're in recalibration. That is absolutely beautiful. And that recalibration of tweaking systems and rethinking relationships. I mean, to me, it is the great pause, the menopause, right? And the perimenopause, like all these areas, we are looking at what systems need to be tweaked, what lifestyle things need to be changed, and we giving ourselves, permission. Does anybody struggle with giving themselves permission and allowance to enter into these spaces and feeling the resistance of that permission when they're in the recalibration space?
I'll be very honest. Um, I don't feel any more resistance now that I have released
Mm-hmm.
so many people. There is no resistance. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
I want to do this. I'm going to do
Mm-hmm.
it because there's nobody
Mm-hmm.
to seek any level of validation or question from but myself, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And before I would always lean towards other people, you understand, to make them feel included. Um, at the same time, not realizing I was sacrificing myself and my thoughts and where I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be. I was such in a place of inclusion, but inclusion meant self abandonment for me. So now,
Mm-hmm.
not having to do that, I'm good. I feel much better. I feel more powerful. I feel more, you know, happy with the
Yeah.
direction that I get to take and not have to
Mm-hmm.
worry about what other people are thinking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love that. I'll go to Coco. She has her hand raised. Go ahead, Coco. Beautiful.
Hi, for some reason my camera won't let me get in there, but that's okay.
That's fine.
I'm cute. I'm cute today though. Just trust that. No, I definitely that resonates everything that the lady before me said, and it's such a beautiful place coming. Like I feel like I'm on the momentum of the third element, which is sort of on my what is the third element? The one
Rise.
after rise. I feel like I'm on the momentum
Mm-hmm.
of rise out of that recalibration space. Um, and it's just like a push there, but I do sometimes still feel, I think I think some of the resistance I feel is just social pressure that says if I'm resting, I'm lazy. And I know that's not true, but I do recognize that I'm still in an unlearning phase of my journey, and I'm unlearning some of those things that you're not good enough. You're a born sinner, wretch under. Like I'm learning, unlearning some things. So I'm giving myself grace to unlearn that and kind of like leaning deeper into it. So when whatever that energy is like, even though my physical body is like, we need rest. Like you're older, you
Mm-hmm.
can't do as much as you think you can in your brain. Like you just need rest. Even if you don't feel like you deserve it, you need it. Go ahead and take it, or rest will take you. I tell other
Mm-hmm.
people that all the time. If you don't take rest, rest will take you. But then I'll
Mm-hmm.
kind of be in that rest, like I could be doing something more productive now to bring value to my existence. Unlearning
Mm-hmm.
that my existence is valuable. It just is. Like so it's kind of cool to just I don't know what the point to this rant was, but yeah, I do
No,
feel
no, I get
resistance, but I'm
it.
being
Yeah.
aware of the resistance and pushing through it is
Mhm.
kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I no, you said that beautifully. I mean, and you brought to a point awareness. A lot of times it's just being aware. It's nothing to fix. It's nothing to do. Sometimes awareness is the best thing you can do. It feels like it's nothing, but it's reframing what productivity is. And that's why I say like resting, you're being very productive because all of these systems now are able to communicate and work and do the things that we've asked it to do. So it's being it's very productive. It's just reframing what we look at as being productive. And a lot of people confuse productivity with like movement or productivity with some type of outcome. And it's not. It's like a person on a treadmill could be going 100 miles per hour, but they're in the same position. So movement versus productivity sometimes is different, and it's that shift, and it's the need to move into a space. So no, you said that beautifully. I absolutely love that. Anybody else wanted to comment or anything that just came up? She has such a beautiful just description of that recalibration.
Yes,
Tavisha?
can I want to she I want her to repeat something. She said if you don't take rest, you will. Can you repeat that?
Oh yeah. Hi, Tavisha Bear.
Hey, baby.
I always say, like, if you don't take rest, rest will take you. It could be in those moments at the stoplight, and it's a stoplight, it's a stop sign, and you sitting there chilling.
Mm,
You done
that's
fell asleep
amazing.
at the red light. Like, rest gonna take you if you don't take it. It's just been my experience.
And it's the truth anyhow.
Mhm.
So family, friends, loved ones, those that I don't know, all of the above, please don't jump on me because this is a safe space. That is my small disclaimer. Safe space, right?
Yeah, safe space.
Okay.
Of course, of
I don't want
course,
no
of
phone
course.
calls later. I'm just saying, yes, I'm releasing because I'm about to rest. Anywho, okay.
I
And
love that.
I'm gonna use my words because everybody know how I am about my words. I am just gonna say, instead of being admitted, I will say I was held against my will. Now, I went to the doctor. I've been going through some things. Um, I know somebody. I've been going through some things, some health scares. I don't know, just random. I've been, I guess, suffering from some anxiety or whatever, whatever. Went to the doctor. They transferred me immediately to the hospital. Blood pressure was way over 200, like 200 or 110, 200. Oh, I mean, it would not go down. So yeah, I was in the hospital this week. Again, safe place, please don't jump on me. I can't handle that. That was just this week. So it's been really, really challenging for me. I'm generally healthy. I don't have no, and the crazy thing about why that just resonated with me about the rest, if you don't take it, for me, I've been running, running, running on empty, but yet running to keep up because it's just that I don't want to lose control. Something's going to happen if I don't make it happen, and just trying to keep it going. And it's just a lot, but trying to stay afloat. And so much so to where when I was held against my will at the hospital, I had my laptop with me and they thought I was just the craziest person. Like I couldn't see, blurred vision, again, heart racing, just anxiety. They calling codes and stuff. I'm like, so it's giving me even more anxiety. But in
Mm-hmm.
my mind, I have class tonight at 6. Y'all don't understand. I have to be there. I'm trying to finish this master's program. Like I'm all over the place. And they like, are you serious? So you'd rather die doing what you're doing? Make it make sense. And I'm steady like, well, if I can just show my face and let my professor know I'm there, like who does that? But literally that's me because I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to juggle so much. And
Mm-hmm.
long story short, that resting again is just all resonating that I do need to take that rest, but it has
Mm-hmm.
been so difficult for me to do it and allow things. It's almost like allowing things to unfold and or
Mm-hmm.
just like happen however it's going to happen. I'm just so afraid of that and I don't know how to lose that fear of letting
Mm-hmm.
go. I've been wanting to let go for so long, but I don't know how to lose that fear of what the heck is going to happen if I'm not in control or if I lose something or if I don't have like I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what that's going to look like. So,
Yeah. No, thank you for sharing that, Tavisha, your health scare. Like, safe space. Thank you for just being vulnerable and open with us about what you're going through. And, it's one of those things. We're not here to fix anything. There's nothing we can tell your head that your head doesn't already know, but your heart and your intuition are trying to talk to you and communicate with you, connect to you. But you got to get out of here and get into here. And what you could do right now is even just put your hands on your heart and your hand on your gut and just say, I'm here and I'm listening, and to be aware. There's nothing else to you can do. It's a space of coming into knowing, but our head thinks it runs our life. And when we had the course a while back, for those of you who were in it, that basically was like when your will won't, right? It's the difference between knowing better, doing better, and being better. And it looks like you're in a shift of being called to be better, not to necessarily do better. And what you're dealing, you are not alone. There's so many of us, me included, that have looked at that race and treating it like a sprint and not a marathon. And this great pause that we're in is having us to reevaluate our systems to say, what is the truth? What is really working? And I know for myself, I when I would say I wanted to be successful, I really was saying I wanted to be significant. And so I started replacing the word successful with significance and say, I want to be significant. I want to be significant. I'm going to do all this because I'm working to be significant. And I just had to realize I'm already significant where I'm at. So success is nothing to chase or to grab. It is an embodiment of the significance of your existence in this space. So you're not alone. You are absolutely not alone in what you are experiencing at all. I'm gonna go to Golden Rain. She had her hand raised. I'd love to hear what you have to offer in this space.
Um, Before I came into this space of recalibration, I mentioned to you guys the last year has been quite hard. Well, quite interesting. I'm going to say interesting and hard. And I'm going to go back to the past 7 months. I was exactly where she was, um, to the point where I had to put myself in a reality check. And when I say a reality check, for some reason, um, I was making so many prayers in this reality check. And the reality check was I had severe anxiety. I had brain fog. I had gut issues. My A1C was like at 8.0. I
Mm-hmm.
had um, like nervous spells where my hands wouldn't stop twitching.
Mm-hmm.
I was, no matter how much rest I got, I was still exhausted and tired. And when I
Mm-hmm.
say exhausted and tired, I was going to the gym. I wasn't losing any weight. I was having, in the middle of the night, like the acid reflux was coming up, burning
Mm-hmm.
my throat, burning my nose. All of these things were happening to me. And I was going to the doctor like every other month saying, what is wrong with me? Help me, help me, help me. What is wrong with me? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then I remember um, that I started looking into various things, and various things included the fact that we have to, and I say we as women, as Black women, we are all to everyone except ourselves. And it's a societal pressure, but it's also a cultural pressure, but it's also a moment to consider something. And the one thing I want you to consider is to think about your mother, your grandmother, your aunts. Think about them when it came to a funeral and how they never rested. They had to show up. They did show up consistently. They have to make sure everything is right, everything is good, all the guests are good, all of this is going on. And you never saw them break down because they're so busy taking care of everybody around us. But then when it actually hits them is when the funeral is over, everybody's gone, and they have that moment alone, and there's nobody there. That should be an eye opener for us. And it should be
Mm-hmm.
something that we take into consideration all the time. That's not healthy. It's not healthy. It's not healthy that they take care of everyone around. And when it comes to them, they are sitting. alone. And it's maybe that one sister or maybe that one best friend that may come and check on them after everything has ended, you know, but by then they're probably falling apart, you know.
Mm-hmm.
All of
Thank you
this
so much.
is so important, and we just have to
Mm-hmm.
remember that so we can recalibrate what we think is important.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I love that. I love that. I'm gonna go right to Ebony because she had her hand raised too. Thank you for that. Ebony, you have
This
go
has,
ahead.
yes, this has
Mm-hmm.
been such a great conversation. And I think what Sister Phil is feeling, many of us have felt for our feeling as well. And I heard, Steph, what you said, and what kept coming to me was about identity.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because we did talk about identity as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I was running on that same program and I had to check in with what was I identifying with? Like whose identity was this?
Mm-hmm.
And who just spoke? Gold Rain just spoke, and she mentioned the
Mm-hmm.
mother, and she mentioned the grandmother and the aunt. And um, yeah, as I had to change my programming, I had to think about like where did I adopt these behaviors, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And also when I look at my grandmother and when I look at my mom, what are their health issues?
Mm-hmm.
Ulcers, high blood pressure. Do I want those things for myself? And what we know is epigenetics, like what
Mm-hmm.
we can change based on the behaviors, based on our
Mm-hmm.
patterns, our thought patterns, our eating patterns. And so when I find myself in spaces like that where I feel like I'm trying to prove myself, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I'm performing because I gotta feel like I tried my absolute best, even if I fail, even when I'm exhausted, even when I'm tired,
Mm-hmm.
even when my body is saying to rest, even when everything in me is trying to shut me down. It's like
Mm-hmm.
whose identity is this?
Mm-hmm.
Is this my identity?
Mm-hmm.
And why have I created this identity? And where did I learn this from? And start
Mm-hmm.
to just really dig deep. So I
Wow, I
just I
love
just wanted
that.
to share that. Yeah, because it's been like game changing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
everything that we're talking about right now, I thought about it as I sat last week. I took like a quick little hiatus to South Georgia, and we were sitting on a little porch at a country store, rocking in a chair for a moment, me and my
Mm-hmm.
partner, and I was just like, it felt ancestral, like
Mm-hmm.
it felt like when it was okay to rest, when all houses were built with porches, when all houses had bathtubs, like when our environments encouraged a moment to rest.
Mm-hmm.
But now we
Mm.
find ourselves in spaces where there's no bathtub, the kitchen is smaller, there are no porches, we don't know our neighbors. Like everything around us is built to make us workhorses. And so rest is a reclamation. Like it's an act of
Mm-hmm.
resistance to be like, I'm not subscribing to this program. And I'm gonna do this for
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do this for everybody in my generations. I'm gonna rest for my ancestors. I'm gonna rest for my mama for the rest she didn't get. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna rest for my grandma for the
Mm-hmm.
rest that she didn't get.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
Come
rest for
on,
myself because
ancestor
my
rest.
children
Hold
need to
on.
see
Come
it.
on, ancestor rest. The fuck? Slaves are in my ancestry. I got a lot of resting I need to catch up on for the
Exactly.
sake of my line. That was bars. I'm sorry. Whew.
No, yeah. I love that.
Wow. Wow.
Yes. I just felt that
I
come
love
over
it.
me. I didn't mean to
Yeah,
get on here
no.
preaching, but I really felt it
It's
come
the
over
truth.
me.
No, it's the truth. I mean, because those are the three things we're talking about: rest, recalibrate, and rise. So those are all. I mean, thank you guys so much. This is the. I knew this circle. It was going to be us feeding into one another and supporting each other through that. Like I said, we're not here to fix anything. We ain't got to figure out anything. We are here to align with what is already folding. And that was our breath. This, for those who came later, that was our breath that we had in the very beginning of this. And sometimes just talking and supporting and not looking to fix or figure, but just to look to be poured into, even if that one thing can switch for you, that one resonation, that one, that makes that, like she said, game changer. Those things can happen. So I absolutely love that. For those of you in this, and we get a big watch back too on our YouTube, like when I share the recording. So I can't wait to just see other people's, just response and things to what you guys have been able to pour into them. I know it's going to resonate with so many people. And that was what we were talking about, momentum without force. Momentum that allows us to flow. And I think you all just spoke beautifully into those spaces. And I'm filled with that. It's radical rest, radical recalibration, and radical rise. We're gonna add the other R to it, make it radical. And yeah, I just absolutely love y'all for just being vulnerable and sharing your experience, because like I said, we nobody's alone. A lot of us can relate to these things. Before I move on and we kind of finish up, this is those of you who are participating in the Divine Gypsy Ramadan. Hey, I don't know about y'all, but this fasting been on. It has lit up so much in me. And the cool thing about this, the Divine Gypsy approach to Ramadan, which is, y'all know, to do less, be more, was that it was fasting, not just focusing on the food, but fasting from thoughts. It was a fast of the mind, the heart, and the ego. So, we were fasting from those things, like some belief systems that might not just be serving us, some thoughts, some rhetoric, some things that we've been fixated on that we're just fasting from and reevaluating and being aware and observing. We're just observing ourselves in this space. It's not to fix it. It's not to say what's wrong. It's just being an observer of our lives outside of us as participants. And I love what when she talked about, the performer of ourselves. We've learned to perform in life, especially high achievers. A lot of my clients that are high achievers, I mean, half of the work we do is them learning to show up in life, not as a performer or a participant, as an observer. And they've learned to perform so much, they never get off the stage. And can you imagine if an actor is on the stage acting for 1,872 hours? You're going to get exhausted. So it's like sometimes coming out of that performative self and getting to your authentic and your true self. But it's about these fragment pieces that we have, and it's the integration, of our wellness, right? It's a whole 8 dimensions perspective that our whole self is welcomed. And so when we're observing these parts that don't align or don't tell the story that we want to start telling, it's just a way for us to observe and say, do I need to rest, recalibrate, or rise? So that goes perfect into what I wanted to share with y'all in the spring program. Y'all know I always do some type of coaching spring program. And I would love to see all of y'all do, because everybody has sort of talked about what this program is designed to do. And it is a call. It really is a call. And it's called GLP-1, the real GLP-1, which is not the weight loss shot, but the gentle life planning for one life. And I'm calling it GLP-1, because every GLP-1 is all the rave. And when I really study and I research what this GLP-1 phenomenon is, it really is a call to gently plan our life where there's no force. It is flow. It is a experience where we get to shed emotional, mental, and physical weight. We shed it all, because physical weight, by the time our bodies are screaming, they are just communicators. They are just the messengers. They're a demonstration of what's going on in our emotional body and our mental body and our spiritual bodies. And our physical body is just showing this. So it's really shedding the weight, not physical, just physical weight, but emotional weight, mental weight, and really looking at what that medication does that we actually can call out of ourselves, because it's our hormones, it's our bodies, it's our, systems that are communicating, and there's a way to really go inward to have that conversation through some of the things we're going to explore. And it's a 6-week course, and I guarantee it will absolutely shift you and just break something that you have maybe been wrestling with for a while, and you're ready just to shift into this new space, where it is going to combine rest, recalibrating, and rise. You're gonna get it all in that 6 week program. So I'll share with that with y'all more through the email. But I'm just so excited to do it. I mean, if you are a science nerd, if you are a research nerd, if you are the kind of person that likes to do like deep dive work into yourself, this is gonna be for you, because I'm telling you, it's going to unlock some things, because y'all know I take my courses before I share them, and when I tell you it unlocks, it unlocks, it unlocks, it's freeing. And in our session in the first month, a lot of people were saying this was their year of peace, or their year of freedom, of their year. They had these proclamations, and so this is just another tool that we'll be able to share and embark with each other. Because we can't get there alone. We shouldn't want to do it alone. And this is the whole point of this circle. So I'll share more with y'all, but I'm so excited for that GLP-1, gentle life planning for one life. No more fragmented cells, just one. So with that, I'm just going to leave the last 5 minutes, just open to space. Anything that people want to share, and like we said at the end of this, was the first thing that you felt like you needed still at the end of this session? Was your intuition right? Or, because I know Tavisha arrived there and spoke it out of her, if that's still it, but was your intuition before we went into this correct about what you needed, or did anybody's change as we went through this session, of if you're in a space of needing rest, recalibration, or rise? Reese, your mute is still on. I don't know if you talking to us or not. Oh, okay. Anybody's is different from what they started. Anybody? Well, everybody else is the same. So y'all intuition was right. Yay! Your what more fired up? Yeah. She said in the chat. So that's great. That just shows us our intuitive intelligence is serving us. We don't always have to rely on our head intelligence. Our heart intelligence and our gut intelligence is, I feel, the intelligence we need in this season of this part of our perimenopausal, menopausal, and shifting into our wisdom bodies, for sure. I love that. So anything else anybody want to share just in these last minutes? I mean, y'all had nuggets here. This is a video I'm going to go back and rewatch for sure.
I do. I draw some for y'all
Yes,
while I
please,
was
please.
doodling while we
Yeah,
were.
what you doodle for us, girl? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I
Oh,
was
look at
doodling.
that.
Oh, Reese,
Oh my
that
God,
is
please send me a picture of that. That's it right there. That's what
dope.
came.
That is
Reese Bear,
beautiful.
send that. Oh
Wow,
my God.
Sissy.
Send
That
that,
came out of this
please. That's
session. That
awesome,
came out of
Mama.
this session, y'all.
Let's
That's
go for
deep,
the
right? That's it right
ancestors. I
Overcome.
there.
feel the
Yes.
ancestors in that.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. Love y'all. It's been beautiful.
Love you. Thank you. Please share that. And other people have shared their information in the chat, so please do it. Everybody here is in the circle, in the app. So this is our circle. This is a circle and a space for us to lean on one another. So definitely please get the information out of the chat. Like I said, I record this, I'll be sharing with it. And I just know the women who listen back, like I had literally like 8 people say, God, I feel like I gotta get in this circle, but I got this. Please send me the recording. Please send me the recording, please. So I know what we've shared here today is gonna resonate with other people that's on this journey along with us. We're not alone, y'all. We're here. We're here. We're here doing it. We're here doing it. Be encouraged this week. All right, if that's it. Oh, we'll close this space with light and love. I absolutely adore every single one of y'all. Thank you for what you have poured into this circle. Thank you for making it safe. I'm just so delighted that you all have spent your attention here and your minds here and shared your wisdom and your love. And I'm absolutely grateful. So grateful. We close the space with light and love. Everybody have a good week. And your rest in your recalibration and in your rise.
Yes, thank you, Steph, for like holding this container. And all of the
Yes.
women who show up and are vulnerable and yeah, who also make this space what it is. I'm grateful to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes, ditto to that, Ebony. Thank you so much, Steph, and everybody that is on the call.
Yeah, I love it. And I'm be following up with y'all. That's how I was doodling. So I know where everybody is. And I'm gonna personally reach out to you by the end of this week and just check in and see where you are on your rest, your recalibration, or your rise.
Mm, radically.
Radical. Yeah, radical ones. Because you know if you
Mm,
brought it up, everything will try to grab at it.
mm-hmm,
So you're gonna have to
mm-hmm.
put them hands on it. All right. I love y'all.
Awesome.
Love you.
I'm gonna
Thank you,
stop
everyone.
recording.